Right, hello. Is that right? Hello, everyone. So this is Creator in Residence stream number 5. Kuroy reminded me. Number 5.
Yes.
And today, Kuroy is. We're going to take it. Well, he's. It's not we, it's he. He's going to take a closer look at making some more detailed. Well, I don't know if we're going to make more detailed clothing, but more detailed elements
Look,
at
yeah, we
clothing.
can, we can, we can try. Yeah.
So that's what we're going to do today. And right, so take it away, Kuroy.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I hope you are doing well. So yeah, I just got mentioned we are going to try to introduce more advanced techniques, maybe to create different kind of garment in Marvelous Designer. So let's just open our project and yep. So we have our default shirt that we created some
Oh,
time
right,
ago.
from last time, yeah.
Yeah, so we can just remove it, right? We don't need it at the moment. Let me just save it as new project. Because last time, I mean, few streams ago, we had crash. So let's just save it as project. And this is tutorial number 5. So let's just name it like that. Should be fine. And as you can see, I imported default MCG skin, right? With the areas that are covered by the
Yeah,
red
yeah.
spots. So this is helpful for the future reference, maybe for the future projects when you create bikinis or different kind of garment. So you can just follow those guidelines. You don't have to adjust them in Blender or 3D Max. So if you imported your avatar without the skin, is it black? I mean, blank texture or different texture? Just click on the avatar and go to basic parameters and texture, and you can just apply any texture. It doesn't have to be default skin. It can be your skin as you prefer. It's up to you.
Right, because the mesh brings in the UV map.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
Yes.
yeah.
Yep. So the UV map is already inside the mesh. All right. So what can we start with? Some people ask about straps, right? Bikinis,
Yes.
um, spaghetti strap
Yes,
bikini
spaghetti
or
straps,
something like
yes.
this.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is made of usually straps, and there is one technique that is very helpful because we usually use 2D pattern window, right? To
Mm-hmm.
do just draw polygons or rectangles. But in this case, we can use 3D window and go to this option and choose line avatar. So now you can draw on the avatar. Let me just quickly show you. We will try to do uh, some kind of connection with practice and tutorial. We will see how it works out. So let me just quickly drag, click drag, and another click. As you can see, the line remains on the avatar. Let me just try to demonstrate this, right? And you already have the size of the and the length, maybe not the size, but the length of the line.
Oh, right. So it's a kind of retopology.
Yes, the more stops, the more dots you make, the bigger the topology will be. I
Right,
mean, the default topology, because you can always increase it in particle distance
right.
in the next step. So let's just try to make the bikini top
Yes.
like it is here.
Yeah.
So let's follow the lines, and we will see how it looks uh, as finished mesh in Marvel's Designer. Okay, so as you can see, I'm making few stops here. All right, so let's just go here, here, and here. So now we have some kind of outline, right? It doesn't look like a mesh,
Yeah.
but if you follow the same step, click on the same icon, but now click flatten and hover the mouse over the area, as you can see, it highlights, right? Oh,
Yeah.
now you can see, click left mouse button, and then press enter. And you have
Oh,
the uh, mesh generated. And in the 2D viewport, there is already a flat surface that looks like the mesh we just made. All right, so we can continue. And in this case, you can also use the symmetry. So you don't have to do left and right side, right? So
mm.
you can just go and create one side. So let's just go and make another. Let's say this should be fine. So this is kind of a brass strap. It's up to you how thick it will be. All right, and just go flatten again. I recommend doing this every time you create new shape, because the more unfinished line you have, the more errors you can, I don't know, encounter.
So you mean when you're doing something like this, just break it into sections?
Yes, yes. Because
Right.
I, in the past, when I was learning this one,
Yeah.
I made just the whole outline, right, of
Yeah.
the, let's say, bra, and try to flatten this one,
Right. Okay. Yeah.
and and Marvelous Designer crashed.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, so that's the safe way to do this. So all right, so let's just continue and outlining our uh, bra, or maybe bikini, whatever you call it, however you want. All right, so let's go here. So as you can see, we got nice curves.
Yeah.
And if you want to just change it when you already apply the outline, let me just finish this one. You can go here and you can edit the line and 3D pattern as well.
Right.
So I'll just return and flatten this. All right, it should pop out and enter. All right, so as you can see on the 2D viewport, it's a bit messy. Just to move it aside
Yeah.
to make it more clear for you. All right, so now we need, did I place a line here? Oh, yes, I did. I mean, the dot. All right, so let's just try to do this way. Flatten again. And do we need to do anything else? We can add a small rectangle here,
Yeah.
but let's do this. Why not? And you can just match those techniques. So you can just go here and create a rectangle, right?
Yeah.
Draw a rectangle, and it's just gonna appear, but you will have to just adjust it like a normal part of a mesh in this case. All right.
Yeah. So that's a bit fiddly to.
Yeah, it just
Mm.
takes time, right? I
Mm.
mean, you can use those tiny, um, oh, sorry, uh, arrangement points, as you can
Mm.
see,
Oh, right.
so,
Yes.
to snap those elements,
Yeah.
but you will need to have those arrangement points everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Which I removed my points from most of the avatar,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's just up to you which way you prefer. All right, so let's just continue with this one, and I think it's too big, so let's just edit pattern and resize it to make it smaller. All right. Okay, so now we have finished this one, but we need to sew it together. So we can do this in 2D view as before, or we can just go to the 3D view and segment sewing and just click, and they will be just connected together. So this way you can create more advanced maybe shapes when it
Yes.
comes to garment.
Mm.
And I think skin tight would work as well. All right, so now we can just press simulate, but let me quickly save this. I don't want to lose my progress if
Yeah.
something crashes. All right, and if you want to simulate, you can press spacebar, and as you can see, it just
Whoops.
went down, right? Oh yeah. So it needs to be connected to something on the left side here, right?
Right.
So we can just copy those patterns and just copy and then mirror paste, right? So it's gonna mirror paste this one. Of course, you will have to just manually adjust it
Yeah.
just a bit. And then, all right, so we will have to connect this. And then you just have to sew it together to make it one piece. Okay. And we have to sew it to this part. And then here. It's a bit messy here, so I will use my 2D view. And now you can try to simulate it. As you can see, it doesn't look that bad, but of course,
Right.
it's too big. So now
Yeah.
you can just manually adjust the size of the bra as you want, right? I mean, I think we don't need this element, this rectangle,
Yeah.
but let's just assume you want this element to be present in your mesh. And of course, oh, let's just return here. And let's just move it aside a bit. All right. And I think it's still too big. So, well, you can go click on the, let's say, part of a mesh and just resize it like this, right? So, but to make it more, I don't know, appealing, better appealing. I don't know. Which I don't know what kind of word I want to use for this one, so don't mind me. All right, so let's assume that that's the maybe not that's not the point of the correct mesh. So let's just take time and adjust it. As you can see, this line is too big. So let's just make it smaller over here. And you can always manually adjust this strap. Let's say you want this strap to be here.
Mm.
Press spacebar to stop the simulation. And now you can click and um, solidify this. And it should behave more like a solid material, not let's say not fabric, but some kind of solid material. So solidify. You can also freeze the material, right?
Mm.
This is another option to allow this strap to stay in place. So let me just click and freeze. But when you freeze,
It frees the whole thing. Yeah.
it's gonna freeze the whole strap,
Yeah.
of course, the pattern,
Yeah.
and you won't be able to move it. When you solidify, you still can move it, right? But there is another option. Let me just unfreeze. There is another option. Let me just show you. And you can, oh, and you can strengthen this one. And it changes the color to, is it orange, right? Some kind of
Yes.
orange color.
Yeah.
And it behaves just like it, um,
It's a bit stiffer.
it's like solidify, but it's very stiff, and it makes the material, the fabric, some kind of like a leather, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't have removes most of the wrinkles from the material, and yeah, it's just a stiff kind of material.
Mm.
Okay, so let's just unstrengthen. You can always turn it back to normal material, and yeah, let's just reduce the size or the length of our straps. Those are too long. That's why they just behave weird. And as you can see, the bra doesn't want to cooperate with me.
We're live. Of course not.
Yeah. Oh, why not? I mean, that's good. I think we can just, show the progress that not always you get the
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
desired result.
Yeah.
All right, so let's just, I think we made too big the mesh, the outline, the pattern is too
Mm.
big. So that's the drawback of the line, right? When you create everything in 2D viewport, I think you have better control on the size of the mesh.
Mm.
And when you create it on 3D viewport, you will have to just go and adjust it. As you can see, it looks better. Of course, you can change the fabric properties. So let me just quickly go to fabric, because right now it's probably something like yeah, this is fleece, so that's why it just behaves
Right.
uh, like it is.
Yeah.
So let's go and change it to something more stiffer. Well, of course, it will just try to run away, like you
Yeah.
see.
Right.
You can't help this. I mean, you can help this. Let me just quickly return. Can we return to the previous state? Or maybe not. You can always go here and make pin. So you can add pins anywhere you want to make the mesh stay. So let's just add some pins, and it's gonna help us. Just like imagine you are like a tailor, right? You are adding pins, and you can also move them. And as you can see, and the straps are somewhere in a different place that they would be when I didn't apply those pins. All right, so let me just quickly move it here, move it here. All right, oh, it still falls down.
Well, that's definitely an AP outfit.
It is, it's still AP, even though we have
Yeah.
those lines. Um, all right, so let's just return quickly to fabric and play with different physical properties. Would be wool better? I think yes. All right. So now let's just try to, I mean, we can, show this way and show another way of doing the straps, the bikini in
Oh
2D
yeah, yeah.
pattern
No,
window.
but
So
in you are kind of so you increase the resolution before particle distance before.
yes, let me just click and increase and simulate. Now it should be a bit better.
Right.
And I think we still need to move this somewhere else. Let me just quickly adjust this. Oh, it falls down. It just doesn't want to cooperate. And let me just check it. Where is the sewing? Okay, so over here. So there is no rush, right? So we
No,
don't
no.
have to. I mean, you can always remove the sewing, right? So the edit sewing, click on
Mm.
the sewing line and just press delete. And now you can, let's say, go to segment sewing and sew it here, right? Maybe this one is too far. So let's try this one. And I think it looks better here, right?
Right.
And it stay on the bra area
Yeah.
a bit better. Okay, so let's just repeat the step for the second. Oh, not this one, not auto-filling. Remove. Let me just adjust this line because we have some curved line and I don't want, oh, this is a curvature point. So let's just remove those points from here and we have straight line.
Yeah.
So of course, you can just add, remove anything in the progress is doable and possible in Marvel's Designer. And Yes, it looks now it's a bit better adjusted, right?
Yeah.
So it will just need more time to
Yeah,
make
it's
it.
just a question
Let
of tweaking the
Yes,
shapes. Yeah.
let's just remove this one and try to sew it together here. Oh, right. Yep, it looks 10 times better now. It almost covers the entire area, right? But
Mm.
it's quite hard to just cover it with
Well,
such
it's
small
a
brush.
yeah it's a so the issue is that that's a compound, well, two compound curves,
Mm-hmm.
but the simulation is based on gravity. So of course
Yep.
you've got the cloth you're trying to wrap the physics around a compound
Mm-hmm.
curve, and that's obviously not as simple. I mean, obviously it's not. So this is the advantage of Marvelous, is that you can just simulate. You know, you can just drop planes in and simulate and create clothing. But the disadvantage is that for these more complex shapes, you don't necessarily have as much control over the mesh structure as you might do in, Blender or 3D Studio Max.
Yes, that's why you have so many different tools here, like those pins
Yeah,
and different options like solidify, strengthen,
yeah,
freeze, right? So you
yeah,
can just freeze um, the bra area and just move anything else, right?
yeah,
So we just talk about this few seconds ago, and you can always solidify this area,
yeah,
so it shouldn't run away.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
as you
So
can see,
it
it's
becomes stiffer
yeah,
fabric.
it's
Yeah,
stiffer, as you can see. Yeah.
yeah,
And let me just check particle distance. Is it enough for this one? And of course, you can make it thick texture, right?
yeah,
I mean, not texture, sorry, thick mesh.
yeah,
So you will have something like
yeah.
double-sided
Depth. Yeah,
and depth, yes. And what else can I tell you about this one? Let me check. All right, so we have straighten and pressure. Oh, yeah. So you have solidify and strengthen uh, power. So you can lower it or decrease, right? I mean, you can decrease or increase the strength um, of this modifier.
yeah,
So it's gonna be more stiffer even.
yeah,
All right. As I said, you can apply different preset of the fabric. Let me just check if we have maybe leather. Oh yeah, as you can see, it's even stiffer now
yeah,
when we apply leather, and it starts to looking better, right? In like
yeah,
some kind of a bikini.
yeah,
But it takes time to just adjust everything as you want. All right, and I think that's all when it comes to just using this tool, because I just try to, introduce this line tool. You don't usually use this,
yeah,
but if you need, you can always create, and you can create shorter straps, right?
yeah,
Not They don't have to be to the entire length,
yeah.
and you can just let me just okay, apply. Come on. All right. And you can sew it to this part and to
Oh,
another
I
part.
see. Right. Yeah, yeah,
And it will be just stretched, right?
yeah,
So it should behave better than this one. All right. So let's just, I don't know, any questions? Do you have any questions about this
yeah. No,
tool?
it's no, it's. I mean, it's interesting. It's
It's different, right? So
yeah, yeah,
as I said, I usually don't use this tool because it takes time to adjust everything to the point that you are satisfied with the mesh. So let's just
it's unequals. And Equals just said, very
Yeah.
brave to try and make a bikini on Marvelous. My pieces
Yeah.
usually Z fight so hard they fly off my body, which is what happened at the beginning, but yes.
That's why I just good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's why I just try to introduce this tool. Maybe it might be helpful for someone if you want to just go ahead with this.
Well, it's a quick way of getting a basic shape that,
Yeah.
that you don't have to worry about.
Mm-hmm. Because if you want to just design the bikini here in 2D viewport, you would go right with maybe polygon tool, and you just manually draw something that looks like a part of bikini, and then introduce another part, right? Okay. Of course, you can always press shift to make straight lines,
Yeah.
almost right.
Yeah.
And yeah, it will just appear in 3D viewport. And of course, yeah, if you simulate, it's just gonna fall off.
Yes.
All right, so let's just leave this project. Let's open a new one. So let's just return to this one. Okay. So, okay, let's just remove and save it as a new one. Save as, because this file is quite useful for the another tutorial we are making for IMVU. I have to send JustCat the files, right, for the Blender
Oh, yes. Yes.
tutorial. Okay, so save as project, and tutorial 5. So let's name it 5.1. And wait a second. All right, so now we can design something different. So do you have any kind of ideas? Do you have any ideas? What should we design? Maybe some oversized clothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just have a question. Did I introduce the idea of the bounding points, arrangement points? Sorry, because
Yes,
I'm
that was,
already
yes.
lost in
Yeah, no,
thoughts.
that was covered in one of the previous ones. Yes,
All
that
right.
was,
So yeah.
yeah, that was a T-shirt because you use those to lock the sleeves
Oh
onto
yeah.
the avatar.
Because I made so many tutorials with
Yeah,
this
you lose track
idea
of
that
what
I
you've
just
done.
lost
Yeah,
count.
yeah,
All right, so yeah, if you just want to make something different this time, so let's go with oversized clothing. So let's just make a big, I don't know, not t-shirt because we already made t-shirt. Maybe something with long sleeves, right?
yeah,
Let's just do a basic shape. We can correct this in a second. All right, let's just make it straight line. So you can use just shift to make it straighter, or go to edit curvature and just edit to make it straight. All right, so yeah, we want to use curvature here as well, and lower this a bit. All right, so we have one side, and as you remember from the previous tutorial, you can unfold this with symmetric editing, of course, with sewing.
right.
Let me just do this. And of course, we are always make it a copy of this one. Why should we take time and bother making another one, right? When you can copy paste the same shape and just we can just flip it like this, or maybe we can just flip normals.
Yeah,
And now, well, we can just sew it together. So we are gonna use 3D window. As you can see, we have symmetrical sewing, so it appears on both sides and simulate. All right. Well, it looks like a, a dress,
that
right?
was pretty good actually.
Yeah, 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 I'm surprised with the result.
Yeah,
I mean, this is the power of Marvel's
yeah,
design,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
You
yeah,
just press few buttons and you got the mesh
yeah.
ready, right? Yeah. And you could add some kind of belt here.
Yeah, yeah. Crying out loud. It makes I mean, it makes 3D meshing pretty much obsolete. You know, if it's almost to the point where you might as well just say just buy Marvelous Designer. I mean, it's what is it, $250 a year?
Yeah, yeah, something like that. It's not that expensive, right? So
Yeah, so if you want to get into this sort of stuff seriously, then it's probably worth the investment because it's just the speed with which you can just make something
hmm
is it's just phenomenal.
just remove this one. Yep, I agree with you, and it's just gonna quickly r- give returns.
Yes, I mean why 3D Studio Max is I mean the only reason really that you would use 3D Studio Max or Blender is the prep that's needed. You know, because you can't obviously export this directly to IMVU. It has to go through
Yeah,
either
maybe
Studio.
maybe in the future when Marvelous is so will be so advanced, maybe there
Yes,
will be option just to import skeleton. I mean,
yes, yes. Or yeah.
there are animations in
Oh right.
Marvelous Designer,
Yeah.
but we are just not covering this
No, no, no,
uh, portion, this part of Marvelous Designer because we don't need it.
no.
But yeah, just to make you aware that it's a huge chunk of software that you
So
can use to
when you import the avatar itself, is that just mesh and textures, or is it bringing in things like the vertex weights and the vertex groups and things like that? Do you know if it does that?
No, I'm not aware of that.
Right.
I don't think it imports when you import the avatar
Yes.
file.
So it's just mesh and materials and obviously images.
I'm just checking. This is Maya 3D Max MDD catch. Hmm.
I mean, obviously, depending on where you've got the original avatar from, that
Mm-hmm.
data will be in the source file that you're bringing in. It's just whether IMVU, it's just whether Marvelous actually uses it or not.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean we just have to investigate this one,
yeah.
but
No,
maybe in
that
the
looks pretty good for I mean, what was that? 5 minutes?
yeah, even less, and
Yeah.
let's just make sleeves. But yeah, as you can see, you can just save this pattern, right? And just make a dress, and when you are ready, just add. Uh, let's just quickly do this. Let's add rectangle. Uh, go to the arrangement points. Snap this rectangle here. This is gonna be very fast, but we still need to divide this into, oh, not this one, add point, divide into two, edit pattern, and let's just remove the arrangement points, just they are coming into our way, just a bit bigger, because we are making oversized clothing. So segment sewing, did it, oh, I didn't click it. All right, and then you have to sew it to the,
Mm.
let's say, dress, right?
Hmm.
Because at the moment it just looks like dress, but it's gonna be some kind of sweater. Winter is coming, so
Yeah.
not yet, but soon enough. So yeah, and you got sleeve, right? And it's too short, but let's just make it longer. Yeah. And of course, if you increase particle distance, the quality of the wrinkles and folds will be 10 times better than this. All right, so let's just make a quick copy and mirror paste. As you can see, you can always use 3D window, not only 2D window, and just click. But it just make a bit mess here, so let's move it aside. And segment sewing.
Yeah. Unequal says that it does seem to import avatar joints. somewhere somehow it does import everything. It's just a question as to
Oh,
whether you know.
I will have to just
Mm,
investigate this.
mm,
Maybe next time we can play along with this one
mm,
and see what are the results.
mm.
And as we saying, maybe in the future we are going to be able to just export
Yeah,
directly from
yeah,
Marvel's Designer to IMVU Studio. Because both apps just are evolving. Let
yes.
me just remove, delete. Did I just click? Oh, edit. All right. And yes, so you almost have the
That's
this
crazy.
that sweater ready. So let's just increase our particle distance. Let's make it 10 and simulate. As you can see, it takes a bit more time, right?
Yeah,
Depends on your, of course, computer, on your setup
yeah,
and hardware. But yeah, it looks nice, right? Straight off the box. So you can always, you know, I don't know, you call it draping?
yes.
So you can just do it like this. All right. Yeah. So this is some kind of oversized winter sweater. I mean, you can always go ahead and make it even, make bigger sleeves. And let's just try this. And we
So
just pause. Yeah.
if you make so if this was an actually an oversized piece of clothing, you
Mm-hmm.
would make the you would make it wider, not necessarily longer, or because if you make the pattern areas longer,
Mm-hmm.
it literally just makes the sleeves longer, obviously.
Yes. Let me just show you something, and we will just return to the thing that you are saying.
All right,
It's kind
yes,
of,
so, yes, right, yeah,
so I added internal line, right, and cut
yeah.
it and sew it. All right, and you have the result here. Oh, why isn't this part sewn together? Let me just check edit sewing. Okay, something is wrong here. Let me, oh, all right. I don't know why this kind of glitch happened. Let's just quickly fix it, right?
Save the
Import.
file. Might you
Yeah.
might want to save the file quick.
Yeah, it happens unfortunately from time to time, but it's easy to fix, or you can just return to your saved instance. All right, yeah. As you were saying, yes, you can make it wider just to make it look more oversized, right?
Right.
And let's just make it shorter, but I don't think the effect will be as we want. But yeah, it still
That's
looks
yeah, that's all right.
quite nice. And of course, you can take your cursor and
Yeah,
pinch it somewhere to make some folds,
yeah.
or as before we mentioned, you can go to pin box. Oh, we didn't. There is one thing we didn't do. Let me just quickly return. We didn't remesh the mesh, so we still have triangles, right? So
Right.
let's go and you can
Quadrangulate.
quadrangulate exactly. So and simulate. It looks better when it comes to IMVU, and you have uh, less polygons, right?
Mm.
And okay, just let's return to Pinbox and just I don't know where. Let's just grab this, and as you can see,
Mm.
there is a pin here,
Mm.
and you can create folds in a matter of seconds. And of course, the higher resolution of the mesh,
Yes.
the better they
Yeah.
look. But we still can do one thing. We can remesh it, right? Because right now it's kind of messy. Let's just go and apply wireframe. All right. And click remesh.
Yeah.
All right, and as you can see,
Right.
and simulate. Okay, now it even looks better than before. And let's just save and do an experiment just to show you how particle distance improve the quality of the folds. But it's not. It will be just too much for IMVU.
Yeah.
If we increase this to 5, uh, is it gonna crash? No, it didn't crash, but as you can see, it takes time just
Yeah.
to start the synchronization. Oh, not this one. Yeah. All right, and let's just simulate. Okay, yeah.
Oof.
It became laggy,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It
Please
lags.
don't do this for IMVU.
Yeah, it's just gonna kill. I mean, you are going to kill people
Yes.
because they will just load for ages.
Yeah.
So yeah, just maximum 10, but I usually, if I don't have faults or wrinkles in 3D, you can easily go to 20. It doesn't look bad,
Yeah,
right?
I'd say,
And,
I mean, to be honest, now that we've got normal maps, you don't
mhm,
really need to, I mean, obviously, depending on how complex your outfit is,
of
but
course.
generally speaking, what was that, 10 or 20?
At the moment, we have 20.
Yeah, so you don't really need to be going below 10.
Yeah.
So I would say 15 would be probably the average that you would, detail wise. That's about as much as you really want to be doing because
Hmm.
10 is very low.
And
Well, it's very high in poly count.
and you can always apply, let's say, 10 to the most detailed part of the
Yes.
mesh, and the rest, it can be just 20, right?
Yeah.
There is one thing I would like to mention, maybe not show because I don't use this. Um, there is a topology tool here.
All right.
So you can create your own topology,
Mm,
but there is a huge drawback that it just makes all the patterns separate, so it doesn't sew it together. So
right.
you will just have to do this again and by hand.
Right.
So just let me just show you. So you can create topology. That you can just draw your own topology based on the mesh. Let me just try to do this. As you can see,
All right.
and it creates.
Right.
So you can leave those parts
Mm,
highly dense with when it comes to mesh, and you can just make low poly here,
mm,
or you can do this patch topology and subdivide,
right.
let's say 5. Let's just quickly do this just to showcase you how easy it is to make new topology here. Okay, and create, and you can have this topology. But of course, to apply this new topology, you will have to right click here or here
Mm-hmm.
and remesh all, duplicate,
Mm-hmm.
or remesh all, replace. If you
Mm,
want to replace, just click replace. As you can see,
right.
it got new topology, but of course, all the wrinkles are removed and sewing as well. So you can
Right.
just throw it out.
Yeah.
So I
Right.
don't use it here. I mean, it's still limited, and I think it was introduced in Marvelous Designer 9, if I'm correct.
Mm,
So it's still far from the thing I would use,
mm,
like in 3D Studio Max, when you have retopology modifier,
yeah.
just make new topology based on the mesh itself, and it keeps the wrinkles and or the in different areas that are heavily modified by you, just as they should be. All right, so yeah, so this is kind of oversized shirt. Maybe I will just show you a few tricks as well. And I'm not sure if there are people that watching us want to see something, some features here. Okay, so let's just make. Oh well, we can
Well,
make
well, seeing as we've got a jumper, make it a Billie Eilish. How do you pronounce her name? An oversized jumper thing the kind of thing that she wears. So you've got it's oversized at the neck, oversized at the shoulder seams.
Oh,
So how would you adjust?
is it this? Let me just return quickly. And okay, let me just check if I'm correct. Why is it acting weird here?
Do you have
Let's
to
just
compensate for the top of the sleeves to give that more cloth to work with?
probably yes, because as you can see
Yeah, so you have to
here,
expand the top.
let me just reduce the number of particles and let's just return to normal. All right, so let me just quickly check. Is it a jumper?
Yeah, I think it is. So there
Okay.
you can kind of see it in that image with the black and white. Oh, you missed it. The black and white.
Which one?
If
This
you
one?
go, well, it's just oversized, just an oversized. It's a frumpy. I guess it's it's a frumpy jumper. So you're talking about somebody wearing a jumper that's two or three sizes too big.
All right. Yeah, I know what you mean. So, I mean, you can always go and increase the size of everything. Let's just try to do this. Of course, it's gonna break. Why not? But
Oof.
let's just try to adjust this one. No, it's not gonna work this way. So you will have to just resize everything by hand. All right, so we have this. Let's try to do one side. Oh, maybe this is too oversized. But we will see in a second. Oh, not this one. Yeah, so as you can see, we added material here,
Yeah.
but not here, right?
Yeah.
But we changed the length of this
Yeah.
sleeve area, and here it's quite nice line, but here it
Yeah.
just rises. So as this is the thing that you talked about in a few seconds ago, that we need to add material
Yeah.
here. All right, so we added material and it looks better. Of course, it's too oversized. Got too much. Too much is going on here.
Well, can you change the shape of the that rectangle so that it's yeah, so it's like that. So that's a trapezoid,
Trapezoid. Yeah, I think that's one.
So the
Yes, you can.
more if the top part of that is wider, you have to compensate. Well, that will give you right. Yeah, I see.
Yeah, so you can always pay
Mm,
attention to those numbers, right? So you have the number 100, 200, yeah, 200 almost, yeah, 200, and you have to just keep in mind that this should be the amount, the same amount as here.
yeah,
If you don't have the same amount, the same length of the material on both edges, it will just create something like this
yeah,
that just rises the hem, the material up.
yeah,
It just doesn't have, and as you can see, it compensates. Yeah.
yeah.
You
Right.
you can also, let's just leave it like this, and you can always go here because at the moment we have Sherpa fleece, so we can, let's go and change preset
Yeah.
maybe to something that's gonna look better. Alright, that's gonna, this is rabbit fur, so I don't think she wears rabbit fur.
Mm-mm.
Leather, I think silk should be, we have silk, yes we have silk. So over here it's a bit better, and of course we can go here and change every aspect
Right.
to make it more um, yeah, so I think this is the maximum we can go. Okay,
Oh wow.
so yeah, this is just as you wanted, oversized, right?
Oh yeah.
Can we return, or just we just destroyed our mesh? So when this happens, you can always go here, select everything, and we set 3D arrangement, right?
Right. So you reset the mesh.
Yeah, so, but you will have to just go and adjust those parts of mesh
Mm.
to any place you want. Okay, so do we have saved? Did we save the
I don't know.
project? Open, not
Does
save
it?
as.
It auto saves, doesn't it?
Uh, I mean, there is option. Oh, not this one, to enable autosave, but I don't have it. So we will have to just open project, don't save, and it was this one, yes. Oh, yeah, so we have
Yes.
proper, let's just remove those pins. All right, so there was a thing that I wanted, oh yeah, I remember now. Um, Before we started experimenting with the oversized,
Uh,
too oversized sweater or jumper, I just wanted to show you something that we can do. Internal line. Oh, not this one. Offset internal line. Is it 5 enough? Oh, no, it's too small. Let's just return offset internal line and make it now 25. Yes. Now let's just cut and sew it. And now simulate. Let's just rise this a bit here, and we can pause it. Now we can change the size. As you can see, it changes
mm.
both sides. And okay, so you can create something like
Right.
um, a rubber band, right?
Yeah. Hem seam. Yeah.
Yeah, and you have nice folds here. Of course, it depends on the material
Yes.
preset you already have. This is some kind of material that inflates this a bit, but it's okay. And oh, someone who uses motorbike in the background.
Yeah. I muted whilst it was going past.
All right. So you can always apply elastic to the uh, to the line of the mesh. So it's gonna, as you can see, rise it, right?
Right.
The smaller material you have, it's gonna just rise it as high as possible. We can maybe reduce the number of, I mean, the strength of the elastic band, as you can see.
Mm.
And it just have, I mean, you can apply it in many cases to create a nice piece of
Mm.
garment. And I think it's just a nice feature to use and to
Mm.
have in mind, because you can, of course, not only apply the elastic feature to lines, but you can apply this elastic feature to a whole pattern. So if you click it, enable, it's gonna enable this. As you can see, it's just trying to roll it
Yeah.
up because the strength is just too, I think, too big. Let's just make it smaller.
Well, it's obviously reacting to the shape of the mesh, so
Mm-hmm.
based on
Yes,
the physics, yeah.
and it's try to just
Yes.
go around the curvature of the avatar as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you can see, let's just rise it
Yeah.
and show it. But it's nice, and you can see you can create different clothing in a matter of minutes,
Mm.
as we created before. All right. So I think we have it, and there is one more feature because we are not going to make a bottoms here, right?
Mm-mm.
This is part for I mean this is portion for another tutorial.
Yes.
So not no no bottoms yet. Maybe we can create pants in the
Mm.
future.
Yes, that'll be for another stream.
But just to make you stay in front of the screen and come to the next live streams.
Yes.
All right, so let's just, I want to return to our previous project. So open project, no. And let's try to open this one again. And again, remove the pins. All right, so let's say we want to keep it like it is. And you can insert internal polygon line. Let's say, I mean, you can insert it anywhere. You don't have to go from the edge to the edge.
Mm.
Maybe I can show you show you this way. I mean, this method, and we are going to add rectangle. So let's go here, quickly remesh, and now you usually, when you want to sew it something, you usually sew it to the edge, right? So
Mm.
you would need to, if you have 2 points here and one straight line here, you go to free sewing and you can just quickly sew it together.
Mm.
But oh, it looks nice.
All right.
But I want to show you something different. Let's just undo this and segment sewing, and we can now sew this pattern to the internal line.
Oh.
And let's just simulate and make it smaller because it's too big for the effect I want to show you. All right, so as you can see, underneath this, we have our uh,
Yeah.
jumper, right? And here we have something like a frill, maybe. We can add fabric, and let's just apply different settings to this fabric. And fabric number 2. Okay, so fabric, and we can, what can we apply here? Let's just check it to make desired effect. Simulate. Right. there are so many different presets that it's gonna take a while to find the correct one you want to use. And luckily, you have live preview, right? So you can go ahead and just have fun with this feature. All right, let's just make it smaller and wider. All right. And then we are going to apply particle distance 10. All right, so this is the thing I want to just show you, that you can make internal lines and apply parts or different patterns to already created, let's say, tops, bottoms. You can create, I don't know, multi-frilled
Yes.
dress. Let's go ahead and do this. Maybe, why not? Let's just copy and see how it looks. Internal polygon line. Oh. Apply. Segment sewing. Oh, not this one. This one. And let's just see it. Yeah. As you can
Whoops.
see, it tries to go there. Let's just return. Just go, make it just here, and it should be. It should have better effect. You can also manually help it. All right. And yeah, so as you can see, I can imagine that you can create some kind of a Victorian era dress, right, with those many frills.
Yeah.
And you can also, this is the final feature. I mean, this is the same feature, but you can add internal line, let's say in the middle of the top. Okay, we have symmetry here.
Yeah.
Let's just remove the symmetry. Do you remember how to remove the symmetry? Right click and remove linked editing. And now we can apply internal line somewhere here and press it. All right, so let's just copy, but this is obviously too long. So let's just make it smaller. All right, it should be good. So let me try and where is it? Oh, it's just flying above the sky. All right, let me just try to, come on. All right, and just segment sewing. As you can see. Yep.
Yeah.
So you don't have to just apply the new patterns to lines, to the hems, right? To the ending lines of the this pattern. You can just create internal lines. This is quite good feature, and just apply, let's say, frills or anything you prefer. And of course, you can create darts, right? So this is making holes.
Yes.
So you don't have to manually do this. Just this is in the same drop-down window where you have internal polygon line. Just click down darts. You can make internal eclipse. Even there's another option to make hole. So if you make add internal eclipse, just to make it cut, click cut. Just take a second and press simulate, and you have hole, right? Yeah, you can take it somewhere. Oh,
Whoops.
I just wanted to put this on her head. No, not on fly. Let me just pause it. You can always pause simulation, right? All right. Yeah. So, do you have any questions now?
No,
I
that's
think that would cover most of the features that I wanted to show you.
yeah.
In this
Well, we've been
stream.
going for an hour and 10 minutes, so
That's not bad.
No, it's just
Oh, you had a question about normals, right?
oh yes. I mean, that might be for another. That might be for another stream.
Sure, why not? We can just return to normals.
Unequal just said that I feel like someone would love that outfit on IMVU.
I mean, there are different kinds of people, right?
Yeah,
So
they're
probably,
different folks.
yeah, why not? Why not? It doesn't look bad, but it will need more adjustments.
So, Roy just said I have issues with the sleeves going into the arm. So, how do you pull it back out of the avatar? I guess it's just you just keep tugging on it until the
I mean,
simulation
yeah,
kicks in.
it depends where, right? Where you have the um, it's hard to just achieve this, right? I
Right?
mean,
Yes.
even if you have something like this,
Yeah.
you can manually try to just, as Jaskat mentioned, tag it to the avatar. But I think you can try to in. I mean, if you have skin tight, right?
Mm.
Let's say outfit, you can just add more material, or you can try to, because I saw people that just are adding small parts, let's say like this,
Mm.
and just sew it together, right?
Mm.
To this and to the back. So this create additional portion of material and make it make the material go like make it ease, right? So
Right.
it's more relaxed maybe.
Right.
And that's why
Right.
I
Yes.
would
So the
choose.
simulation is occurring
Mhm.
across more segments,
Yes,
mesh
yes, yes.
segments.
So
Right. Yeah.
that might be one step to just increase the material, not the size, but yeah, as just mentioned, the more segments are here. So,
Yeah.
and people also, yeah,
Unequals just saying that you can reset the 2D pattern.
yeah. So we did this.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, 3D pattern, and
Yeah. Right. Yes. Yeah.
you can do this with the um,
Right. Right.
2D
Yeah.
arrangement selected. So yeah, it goes. You
Right.
can try this one, and you can also try to go to fabric and maybe try to play with the preset with those options when you just unfold this. I mean, click this arrow,
Yeah.
you get different options, right? So
Yeah.
as you can see, maybe if you really want to use this preset, you can try to uh, change those options. It might be helpful as well.
Yeah.
What else can you do? We just messed something. It just inflated our mesh.
What did you do?
I just did
Oh,
change the
pressure.
yeah, the preset of the. Let's just go with the wool. Oh, so yeah, if you have something like this, just you can manually pull it. At least you can try it, and or like unequal mention
Yeah.
reset. Right, but if you try it long enough, you will get it back. So the longer you try, the better effect you get. All right. So do you have any other questions?
No, so no, I'm just constantly surprised with how quickly you can you can design something. It's I mean, I know it's not necessarily designed for IMVU and creating things for IMVU, but
Yeah.
just because of what it is and the
Uh-huh.
nature of what it does. So there you go. The nature of what it does, it just means that, I mean, you really don't need to know any 3D. You just have to have an idea of what it is that you're trying to
Mm-hmm.
achieve, and this does it for you. It
Yes.
cuts out all the stuff to do with learning 3D, all the stuff to do, all the things that you kind of have to know, using 3D Studio Max or Blender or Maya or whatever it is that you're using. And this just does it for you.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So if you get an issue with the armpit, so you can always try to do something like
Right.
it's when I usually design my sleeves like this,
Yeah.
just to make more material, just
Yeah.
to go around. Let me just smooth. Oh, not this option. Edit curvature. Yeah, something like this maybe. Oh, I have too many points here, so
Yeah.
yeah. But you get the
Yes.
point,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I would need to go to the curvature point and remove some. All right, yeah. So it looks better now. Yeah.
Yeah. There you
So,
go.
so
Yeah.
something like just this, and you add more material here,
Yeah.
and it should ease this area, right? When you have armpits.
Yeah.
If you still have problems, just maybe visit the Discord of the JustCat Discord, and we can just try to solve this issue.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because every issue is different, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, because obviously it's going to depend on the type of clothing that you're making.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just the options you apply, the presets you use. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So
Well,
yeah.
I mean, thanks for that. That's, I mean, it's always interesting just seeing how, like I say, how easy. Well, easy is probably not quite the right word, but relatively speaking, relative to using Blender and Max or other apps,
Mm-hmm.
how easy it is to just make clothing.
Yeah,
I mean,
it is.
just
It
so
is.
long as you've got an idea of what it is that you're trying to do. I mean, even then, just based on what you were doing, this you can play around with it and get some, very interesting
Mm-hmm.
shapes.
Just to show you my previous projects, you can create scarves,
Oh
right?
yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so this is in my catalog, so
Yeah,
you can go ahead and check it, right? And it's just, as you can see,
yes, a big, yeah,
a big rectangle, right?
yeah,
And the effect, you just have to manually wrap it
yeah,
around, place few pins, and there you have it.
yeah. God help you trying to do that in 3D Studio Max or
Oh
Blender.
my, I did that in the past. Believe me, I was going crazy,
Yeah, yeah,
going mad, right?
yeah.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, just I think that's literally wraps it up when it comes to the tutorial.
Oh, but a bum. Psh.
That joke.
Yeah,
I'm not a dad, so. All right.
yeah. So yeah, well, thanks very much for that, Kuroy. That's that. I mean, it's just it's fascinating, interesting, and frustrating at the same time because it's just as we were saying, you don't really need to know any 3D to use this
Mm-hmm.
because it does it all for you.
Yeah, just be sure to retopologize your meshes
Yes.
in Blender or 3D Max or Maya, depends what
Yeah.
software you use. Just this is quite important when it comes to IMVU because I saw users, I mean creators that just export the mesh from Marvel's Designer without any changes to let's say I don't know what they're using Blender and just to IMVU.
Well,
So
that's maybe a that's definitely maybe a well definitely maybe that's definitely a topic for another live stream. Is the because it's not just a question of you make a mesh and you export it. There are things that you have to just keep in mind in order for it to work properly
yes.
in
Mm-hmm.
in IMVU.
Yes, especially studio, right?
Yes.
When you increase the particle distance, you have a lot of
Yeah.
just I mean not triangles but quads.
Yeah.
And when you weight the mesh, you have to keep in mind that currently there is a limit of 4 bones, right?
Yes. Yes.
Um, Probably it gonna increase in the future to 6, I think,
Yeah.
because the engine is already prepared to do this. So yeah, because I think in a classic client we could go ahead and add 20 bones. I'm not sure if I'm correct, but it
Yeah.
didn't break the mesh.
No, I didn't
And
know. Yeah. Yeah.
and when I the first time when I tried to export the same mesh from classic to studio, it didn't look good. So I had to decrease the number of bones, right? Because you got the deformations in really weird areas. So the mesh
Yeah.
doesn't look good. So yeah, so keep that in mind. The limit of the bounds is 4 at the moment.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, so this one can be a topic for the next.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
for
I mean, if there's any sort of topics and things that you'd like us to take a look at, or Kuroi to take a look at, just drop them in the chat
yes.
or wherever you. Oh, not headscarf.
Yeah. Just message.
And we'll take a look at them because it's but definitely that what we were just talking about, the optimization and the things that you have to kind of think about
Mm-hmm.
to get the mesh into IMVU, because obviously, as we were saying, it's not just a question of you make the mesh and export it and everything's going to be okay. There are things that you have to keep in mind and consider in order
Yep.
for it to work
Mm-hmm.
correctly in IMVU.
Yes. As long as you have to just retopologize and you
Mm,
are going to be safe.
yeah.
At least your users, right? Because we are meshers. So
Yes.
yeah, so we have to just keep not only our product in mind, but also different creators,
Yes.
right? So that
Yeah.
you are going to use our meshes.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah,
Okay. Well, that's
that's it.
an hour and 20 minutes, so that's not bad. So I guess we'll call it quits there. And for the next stream, we might do the optimization, or there's a couple of other topics that we can cover.
Mm-hmm.
But so thanks for lurking, lurkers, and thanks for the questions. Unequal, Thrumming, Roy, Irana, who else? Somebody else.
Yeah, somebody else, but just you are valued. So
Yes, Rob,
so yeah.
Gracia,
So
Graciala.
thank you very much for being here
Yes,
and just for listening us and watching our tutorials. Yeah, so we are going to make more. Stay tuned.
yeah. So it's
Visit the Discord server.
yes. So it's what are we week 2 in? Oh, no, this is week. This is the first stream of August, isn't it? Or is it second?
It is. Yeah, let me just quickly check. This is the second one.
Right. So we've still got a good few streams left because these creator in residence streams will go on to towards the end of October,
Mm-hmm.
because that's obviously how long the residency lasts. But right, yes. So we'll call it quits there. Thanks for watching, everyone, and we shall see you on the next stream.
Yep. See you. Bye bye.